Right, here we go. What are we talking about, man? Let me plug the joint. Broaching the topic of sex. Is there a such thing as too soon? Broaching the topic of sex. Is there a such thing as too soon? The answer, yes and no. Again, is there a such thing as too soon? The answer, yes and no. Meaning this, if you see a young lady in a grocery line, you're behind her, right? She got her stuff on a little conveyor belt thing, and you tap her on the shoulder and be like, hey, you kind of cute. You want to fuck? I wouldn't recommend doing that. So when I say, is there such thing as too soon? Yes and no. Now, here's the flip side to that. If there was a such thing as too soon, one night stands would not exist. There will be no such thing as one night stands. There would be no such thing as people having sex the very first day or the very first night that they meet each other. That wouldn't exist, but it does. Okay, the mere fact that people have sex right when they meet each other for the very first time, either the same morning, day, evening, or night that they meet each other, what that tells you is when you have two people who are sexually attracted to each other, there's no such thing as too soon. And I need guys to understand that. I'm going to play a clip for you in just a moment so I can illustrate my point a little further. Let me plug the joint again. Broaching the topic of sex. Is there a such thing as too soon? Let's go ahead and add that. All right, man. So let's go ahead and get it.
You be trying to act like you ain't into having sex, but every time we talk, you make some type of sexual reference. I don't like that. This is
Red
why I
flag,
feel.
gentlemen. Never do that. Can I
Okay, go
intervene
ahead,
right
go
quick?
ahead.
Never bring up sex first with a
That
chick.
shit's dead.
Why? Because you're ruining the excitement. They want their minds to wander and imagine and all this shit, and you're ruining it by bringing up sex, sending dick pics. I be hearing niggas be doing that, sending unsolicited dick pics. Like, come on, y'all. Don't bring that shit up at all. The first date, second date, never bring it up until the point where like a boiling pot that bubbles up and the pot pops off with her. That's what you want to do. You want it to marinate. If you bring it up, you simmering it down. By not bringing it up, all you doing is turning the heat up more and more for her ass to the point where she can't hold it in and she's going to explode it on you. I'm telling y'all. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah, you're right. You be trying to act like you ain't.
Okay. So I'm going to run it back and I'm going to break down all their talking points. Okay. Here's the thing. They were saying multiple things. Within that little 52-second clip, there was a lot going on. Okay. It wasn't simply the thing with bringing up sex too quick. There was a lot of other shit going on. It was shit on top of shit on top of more shit. So we got to break it down and separate it and categorize what you're hearing so dudes can understand what it is. Let me plug the joint. Broaching the topic of sex. Is there a such thing as too soon? Yes and no. Yes and no. Here we go.
Into having sex, but every time you be trying to act like you ain't into having sex, but every time we talk, you make some type of sexual reference.
Okay. Shout out to Steve the Dean. He always talks to you guys about dirty macking. That's exactly what that is. So what she's talking about is guys who pretend that they're not mainly motivated to deal with the woman that they're dealing with by sex. They're trying to act like they ain't pressed, like they cool. Like, man, girl, we can date, we can kick it. Sex, man, look, I ain't even thinking about that shit, girl. Let's just kick it. Let's just get to know each other. And then as the young lady stated, every time y'all talk and see each other, you keep bringing up sex. And that's what guys do because guys are too cowardice to just be honest, right? And this is what I mean by that, right? When guys bring up sex, it's usually in a very passive manner. It's not direct. So this is what I mean by that. Like a guy might be talking to a chick and he might ask her, so when's the last time you had sex? Or he might ask her, so what's your favorite sexual position? So when she's talking about bringing up sex, she isn't necessarily talking about the guy asking her, can she hit it or can he hit it? I'm saying, I mean, she could be talking about that, but that's not necessarily what's going on. What's going on is that guys, every time they see or talk to the young lady, they want to keep just bringing up the topic of sex in general. And they want to get on that topic of sex, hoping that the woman says and or does something to clue the guy in that it's okay to start talking about them fucking. So a lot of times guys will stay on the outskirts and they'll just kind of stick their toe in the water to kind of see how far they can go with the topic of sex in general without ever really making direct inroads to talk about them actually wanting to fuck the chick, right? Again, really passive, really indirect way of kind of trying to test the waters and see if it's cool to jump all the way in them shits, right? And that's really, again, some cowardice ass shit. If you're gonna bring it up, be a man and go all the way out there with it. Go all the way out there with it. Just don't stick your toe in the water. Go ahead and jump your ass in the pool all the way, right? Let's go.
I don't like that. This is
Red
why
flag,
I feel.
gentlemen. Never do that. Can I
Okay, go
intervene
ahead,
right
go
quick?
ahead.
Never bring up sex
Okay. Let's finish off.
first with a
That
chick.
shit's dead.
Okay. Broaching the topic of sex. Is there such thing as too soon? Here's the reality of it. If you are in the midst of a woman who is sexually attracted to you, you bringing up sex will not be an issue for her. I'm telling you guys right now. Now, you may have some women that might try to play that, what girl do you take me for? Right? But normally, when women are just kind of playing around a little bit, because sometimes women will play hard to get. Now, there's a difference between a woman playing hard to get because she's just stringing you along, making you think you can hit it, versus a woman who's playing hard to get, but she's playful with it. There's a big difference. I've had women who are playful with it. You think I'm just gonna let you just bend me over and just stick it in, huh? You think I'm just gonna let you do that? No, yeah, I don't think you're gonna let me do that, because what makes you think I'm gonna let you bend over and take my joint in you, right? So, and then it's a playful banter where the woman is interested. She just likes to play, you know what I'm saying? And there's a distinct difference, right? If you know, you know, right? I don't want to get too far into the weeds with that. But if you know the difference between a woman who's definitely sexually attracted to you, she want to get it on, but she's just being playful with it, right? Now, here's the thing. Again, if you're broaching the topic of sex with a woman who is sexually attracted to you, it's not an issue. What's happening a lot of times is you may encounter a woman who isn't necessarily not sexually attracted to you, but she isn't sexually attracted to you enough to have sex with you right now, right? She may have already ascertained that you're the type of guy she can possibly see herself fucking, but she isn't really all the way there yet. She's kind of on the fence with it. And there may be some other things she kind of want to see go down first, just to see if having sex with you is something that she ultimately wants to do. So an example would be maybe she wants to go out on a date, maybe she wants to talk a little bit longer and all of that. But here's the thing with that. You should not do any of those things if it's not something that you want to do. So if you're going to talk a little bit longer to a woman, whether it be on the phone, texting, whatever it is, let it be because that's your cup of tea. That's within your wheelhouse to do so, not because you think she requires that. When it comes to offering a date, offer a date because that's what you sincerely want to do, not because you think you got to do that to eventually get her to the point where she's quote unquote comfortable enough to have sex with you. Never do anything at the behest of the woman. Never do anything because you think that that's what she would want you to do. And then by virtue of that, the sex can eventually happen. Anything you do and or say with regard to that topic, broaching the topic of sex, let it be because that's what you want to do, regardless of how the woman is going to respond to it. Whether she's going to reject you, whether she's going to be cool with it, whether she's going to be offended by it, whether she's going to curse you out, whatever it is she may or may not do, don't concern yourself with the outcome or her actions and or what she may say in reference to you broaching the topic of sex. Always do what you want to do. Just be cognizant of what you're doing, but always do what you want to do.
Why? Because you're ruining the excitement. They want their minds to wander and imagine and all this shit, and you're ruining it by bringing up sex, sending dick pics.
Now, right there, the dick pics problematic. Don't ever do that. Don't ever do that. Never send an unsolicited dick pic. Don't even send a dick pic if a woman asks you for it. If that woman isn't your woman, don't send her nothing. Don't send her nothing sexual if she isn't your woman. Specifically, unsolicited dick pics to a woman you just met. That's corny as hell. I've never done that. And even women that I've been having sex with for a couple of months, few months, even when they ask me for a dick pic, I'm like, nah, hey. If you want to see it, come over here. Come over here. You can put it all in your face. You can get a 3D look at it. Come on over here, right? But nah, the only women I would ever, and I have ever sent a dick pic to, are women that I was actually in a relationship with, right? Now, when he talking about let it marinate, let the woman get all excited, that only works with a woman who's sexually attracted to you. Okay, I need you guys to understand. That only works with a woman who is already sexually attracted to you. So peep game. So let's say for the sake of argument, you're dealing with a young lady and you peep that she's feeling you. And you peep that she's sexually attracted to you. In fact, you know beyond any shadow of a doubt, if you wanted to hit it tonight, she'll let you hit it. If you want to hit it tomorrow, she'll let you hit it. If you want to hit it next week, she'll let you hit. And the only reason you are letting it marinate is because that's what you do. That's your cup of tea. That's within your wheelhouse. You like to do that. You like to tease her. You like to be like, nah, girl, you can get it, girl, but chill. I ain't going nowhere. As long as you stay on your best behavior, you can get this. Just chill. But let it be because that's what you do. Because the problem is, if you don't know what you're doing, then you can try and do what he's saying. Oh, I'm going to let it marinate. I'm going to build up the anticipation and the excitement. You can only do that with a woman who wants you. Okay? You can't do that with a chick who ain't really feeling you sexually, but she's giving you the misleading impression that she does. And that's the problem. Is a lot of guys don't know how to distinguish or to discern between a woman who ain't really with it, she just giving you the misleading impression that she with it, or a woman who's really with it. If you've ever been around a woman who was sexually attracted to you, there is a distinct difference between a woman who is sexually attracted to you versus a woman who's just toying with you. I'll give you an example of a woman who's toying with you. She's making out with you, y'all getting all touchy-feely, but she ain't trying to leave with you. Right? Y'all at a party or something, she grabbing all in your joint. You be like, hey, I'm about to take off. Why don't you call me tonight? We'll make something happen. And you never hear from her. But when you see her again, she getting touchy-feely again. These are women who are toying with you. Right? A woman who's actually sexually attracted to you, she want it now. Now. Not now, but right now. There's a difference. And if you wanted to leave, she down to leave. She ain't gonna allow her friends to come in and interfere. So for you guys that be calling into the shows and be saying, man, I was kissing on this girl and we was getting all touchy-feely, grabbing on this and grabbing on that. And then in the middle of us talking, one of her friends came and snatched her up. She just walked off and I ain't seen her since. That woman doesn't want to fuck you. She was just enjoying, you know what I'm saying, being a tease for the night. She was enjoying the attention and all that she was getting from you. That's it. Okay, women are known for doing that. Okay, women can literally make out with you. They can get hot, bothered. They can actually get horny doing it, but still don't want to fuck you. Oftentimes, there's a guy that they do want to get at, right? And he just chilling somewhere, doing this other thing, doing something else, and she gonna hit him up later, you know what I'm saying? And she gonna show up to his spot with a dripping joint courtesy of you. So just be mindful of that.
I be hearing niggas be doing that, sending unsolicited dick pics. Like, come on, y'all. Don't bring that shit up at all. The first date.
No. There's nothing wrong with bringing it up. You just have to understand when you're talking to the woman or the women that you're talking to, you have to understand what's going on. You have to have astute awareness and astute observation. You have to know what's going on. Again, if you've ever been around women that were sexually attracted to you, I'm not talking about a woman that it took you 2 or 3 weeks to smash. I ain't talking about that shit. I'm talking about women that you literally met. You just met maybe that night, or maybe you met them that night, and maybe you seen them like a day or two later, and it was on, right? You can tell that shorty was feeling it, right? If you've ever been around a woman who is women, plural, women who were sexually attracted to you, there's a certain pattern of behavior that those women have, especially when you guys are in a more intimate setting or one-on-one. There's a certain way that those women actually conduct themselves in your physical presence. There's a pattern of behavior. So if you're in a spot and you meet a little something, then you can kind of see, based on my previous experiences, when I took chicks home the same night or whatever, boom, the same shit is going down. The same topic of conversation is being had. I'm seeing the same shit. You'll just know from experience.
Second date, never bring it up until the point where like a boiling pot that bubbles up in the pot.
Okay, no. You don't have to do multiple dates, right? See, again, what he's talking about is when you're dealing with a woman who is sexually attracted to you, and you know she is. See, a lot of guys, they be taking these women out on multiple dates, and because they're having this entertaining conversation, this entertaining banter back and forth, and a woman seems really engaged, and she's asking you questions, and it seems like she's really interested in your fucking life and all that other shit. Guys mistake that as genuine interest that has the makings of sex. A woman can be genuinely interested in your stories. She can be genuinely interested in all the things you talk to her about, but that doesn't mean she wants to fuck you. There's literally a woman can be genuinely interested and engaged, laughing at your fucking jokes and shit, telling you you're so funny and you're cool. I like you. But as soon as you try to smash, she's like, no, I don't really look at you like that, but I think you're really, really cool. I like hanging out with you. You're just not my type. I know some of you guys have heard that, and then you're scratching your head like, what the fuck? She does like you. How do you think guys get in a friend zone? Women genuinely like those guys most of the time. They genuinely like those guys. Like, they really like them. They think you funny. They think you cool. They think you nice, sweet, and all that other shit. They're just not sexually attracted to you. So even if you brought up sex to a woman who's not sexually attracted to you, some women, although they're not feeling you sexually, they won't be offended. They'll just tell you, nah, buddy, that ain't going to happen. Nah. And they'll be calm about it. So don't assume that just because a woman is not sexually attracted to you, she's always going to react with some type of anger or some shit like that. That's not necessarily the case. I've had women that weren't sexually attracted to me. They didn't yell, they didn't scream, they didn't curse. They're just kind of like, no, it's not going to happen. And that's that. No big deal.
Pops off with her. That's what you want to do. You want it to marinate. If you bring it up, you simmering in.
Now, there's nothing wrong with it marinating. There's nothing. But again, you, the man, you have to already know that the woman is feeling you sexually. And you're taking your time with it. You're letting it marinate because that's what you like to do. You want the woman borderline begging for your shit because that's what you like to do. That's something that you're skilled at. That's something that you have experience doing, and you just like it that way. Right? Like Tupac once said, I don't want it if it's that easy. I want the chick to tease me with it. It's okay if she teasing me while I'm teasing her, but I know she wants it. I'm just not going to give it to her yet. You have to understand who you are, though. You have to understand that that's what's going on. You can't be thinking that that's what's happening. You have to know. And then what he talks about will make sense. See, he just ain't breaking down why he's saying what he's saying. But you have to understand what's going on within that moment for it to make sense and for it to really come to fruition.
Down. By not bringing it up, all you doing is turning the heat up more and more for her ass to the point where she can't hold it in and she's going to explode it on you.
Okay, here's the downside of that. And this is a fact. Now, when I say it's a fact, it doesn't mean that it occurs every time. It's a fact in that it does happen. If you're dealing with a woman who is sexually attracted to you, and if you wait too long to make sex happen, okay, and this is whether it's you knowing or not, whether you know she's sexually attracted to you or not. If you're dealing with a woman who's sexually attracted to you and you haven't really, either you clued in that she was feeling you like that or you haven't, in some cases, if you wait too long to make something happen, there are women who will literally reject you because you took too long to make the shit happen. You took too long. So I said all that to say this. Always do things your way, but understand that there is no 100% guarantee this way, that way, or this way that things are going to turn out as you anticipated or as you thought. That's why it's important to always do you. Always do you. And even if shit doesn't work out the way that you thought it was trending towards, you still do you no matter what. You be like, you know what? Shorty was with it. Maybe I took a little too long for her taste. Oh, well. And you say to yourself, but that's me though. I wasn't ready to hit it. I guess Shorty got impatient and she bounced. Oh, well. And then you continue to do what you do because that's you. It ain't no different than if you're the type of dude, you broach the topic of sex right away and women running around like they offended. You be like, hey, I guess Shorty wasn't with it. But you know, man, I done brought up sex so many fucking times and I've been smashing these chicks all my life, bringing up sex right away. So, of course, I'm going to get some here and there that ain't with it. But I'm going to keep doing what I do because that's what the fuck I do. That's it. That's all.